let me say something that might sound completely wrong. Renting a home might actually make you richer than buying one. Yeah, I know, that sounds crazy, because most people believe this. Rent is throwing money away, and buying a house is always smart. It feels logical. It feels safe. It feels like the right move. But here's the strange part. There are two types of people. One buys a house, feels secure, feels proud, but slowly loses money without realizing it. The other keeps renting, feels unsure, maybe even feels behind, but quietly builds more wealth over time. Same income, same starting point, completely different outcomes. So the real question is, who's actually making the better decision? And more importantly, what is this 8.71% rule, and why does it change everything?
Let's start with what most people think. If you rent, you pay money every single month, month after month, year after year, and that money is gone forever. You don't get it back, you don't build anything, no ownership, no return, nothing comes back. And that feels painful. It almost feels like you're falling behind. So naturally, buying feels smarter. Because when you buy, you're building equity. You're investing in your future. You're slowly owning something real, something solid, something that's yours. And honestly, that logic sounds perfect. It feels right. It feels safe. It feels like the responsible thing to do, like you're finally making progress. But here's the problem. That thinking only looks at one side of the story. Only one side. It ignores something very important, something hidden, something most people never stop to calculate. And once you see it, you really can't unsee it.
Here's the assumption almost everyone makes. They believe the cost of owning a home is just the monthly mortgage payment. That's it. Whatever the bank tells you, that's the number they focus on. But that's not true. Not even close. Because when you own a home, you're not just paying the house. You're paying for a system. A system with hidden costs that quietly take money from you every single year. Costs that don't come back, just like rent. But here's the difference. No one calls them wasted money. No one points them out clearly, so they stay invisible. And because they're invisible, people ignore them. That's where the mistake begins. Because once you actually see these costs and add them up, owning doesn't look as cheap anymore. In fact, it starts to look very similar to renting, sometimes even more expensive. And this is exactly the moment where everything starts to shift. Because this is where the 8.71% rule comes in. And once you understand this rule, you stop guessing and you start seeing the real cost.
Now, let's make this very simple. Think of a house like a machine, not just a place to live, but a machine. And every year, this machine quietly burns money. You don't always see it, you don't always feel it immediately, but it's happening in the background. A small part of your money disappears every single year, forever. Now here's the key idea. Not all the money you spend on a house comes back to you. Some of it is gone, just like rent. And when you add everything together, that number is bigger than most people expect. Much bigger. On average, around 8.91% of the home's value is lost every single year. Gone. That's where the 8.71% rule comes from. Now, don't worry about the exact math yet. Just understand the idea first. This 8.71% comes from three simple parts. First, property taxes. This is money you pay every year, just for owning the house. It goes to the government, and you never see it again. Second, maintenance. Things break. Things wear out. Roof, plumbing, paint, repairs. Even small fixes add up over time. And again, that money is gone. Third, and most important,
the cost of money. This is the part almost everyone ignores. It includes interest, what you pay to the bank, and something called opportunity cost, which simply means this: the money you put into the house could have been growing somewhere else. Investments, markets, other opportunities. But now it's locked inside the house. So when you combine all three, taxes, maintenance, and cost of money, you get a simple rule. Take the price of the home, multiply it by 8.71%, then divide it by 12. That gives you the real cost of owning. Not the bank number, not the emotional number, the real number. And once you see that number, everything starts to look different.
Now, here's where the whole idea starts to break. Because in real life, things don't go exactly as planned, and this buying is always better belief starts to fall apart. Let's look at why. First, interest. When you take a mortgage, a big part of your payment, especially in the early years, is just interest. Money going straight to the bank, not building wealth, not building equity, just gone. And with higher interest rates today, that number gets even bigger, much bigger. Second, maintenance surprises. In theory, people say just set aside 1%. Sounds simple, but real life isn't that clean. One year, nothing happens. Next year, the roof leaks, the AC breaks, the plumbing fails, and suddenly you're spending thousands. Money you didn't plan for, money you don't get back. Third, opportunity cost. This is the silent one, the one most people ignore. That down payment you used, that $50,000, $100,000 or more, that money could have been invested, growing, compounding, year after year. But now, it's locked inside the house, not working for you the same way. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't calculate this. They don't even think about it. They only see the word ownership. And emotionally, that feels powerful. It feels safe. It feels like progress. But financially, there's a lot happening under the surface. A lot of leakage. Small pieces of money leaving quietly every year. And when you finally add it all up, this is the moment people realize it's not as simple as buy versus rent. Not even close.
Let's make this real. Meet Raj. He's 52 years old, working hard his whole life. He finally decides it's time to buy a house. So he buys one for $500,000. He feels proud. He feels secure, like he made the right move. His monthly mortgage? Around $3,000. Feels manageable. Feels like progress. But here's what he doesn't see. When we apply the 8.71% rule, his real monthly cost is not $3,000. It's closer to $3,600 because of taxes, maintenance, and interest. Now meet Amit. Same age, same income, same starting point. But he chooses to rent. He rents a similar home for $2,800 a month. And instead of buying, he invests the difference every single month. Slowly, consistently. No big risks, just discipline. Fast forward 10 years. Raj has a house, but a large part of his money is tied up, locked. Amit? He has flexibility, he has liquidity, and a growing investment portfolio. Two smart people, no mistakes, just different decisions, and very different outcomes.
So what should you actually do? Not theory, not opinions, just a simple way to think about this. Here's a clear framework. Step 1, stop guessing, start calculating. Before you decide anything, run the numbers. Use the 8.71% rule. Don't rely on what the bank tells you. Don't rely on what people say. Know your real monthly cost, because clarity changes everything. Step 2, compare honestly. Look at renting and compare it to owning. Same type of home, same lifestyle. If renting is significantly cheaper, that difference matters more than you think, because that gap can be saved or invested every single month, and over time, that becomes powerful. Step 3, think in systems, not emotions. This is where most people go wrong. They don't buy a house because of math. They buy because it feels right, because it feels safe,
because it feels like success. But a house is not automatically an investment, and rent is not automatically a loss. It depends on what your money is doing. That's the real game. Not ownership, not status, but movement. Is your money sitting, or is it growing? Because at the end of the day, the goal is not just to own something. The goal is to build something.
Let's simplify everything. Two people, same salary, same starting point, same opportunities. Person A buys a house. High monthly cost, most of the money goes into the home. Less flexibility, less money left to invest. Person B rents. Lower monthly cost, keeps expenses under control, and invests the difference. Every single month. No shortcuts, just consistency. Now fast forward 15 years. Person A has a house, has equity, but a large part of their wealth is locked inside that home. Person B has investments, has liquidity, has options, money that's working, money that's growing. And here's the key difference. It's not the house, it's not rent, it's the system they followed. One focused on ownership, the other focused on growth. Same start, different systems, very different outcomes.
So let's break the biggest myth. Renting is not throwing money away, and buying is not always building wealth. That's just a story people repeat over and over again because it feels right. But the truth is simpler. Every home has a cost, whether you see it or not. And the 8.71% rule, it exposes that hidden cost clearly, honestly, without emotion. So next time you think about buying, don't just ask, can I afford this house? Ask a better question, a smarter question. Is this the best place for my money to grow? Because in the end, it's not about owning a home. It's not about renting either. It's about what your money is doing. Is it sitting or is it growing? Because the people who win financially are not the ones who just buy assets. They're the ones who build systems. And that is what actually creates freedom.